Yeah, I think we are live, right?
Yeah,
Rishabh?
yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, hello everyone. Trust all you are doing good. Today is our next this masterclass, right? So in previous masterclass, we have discussed about equity, how you will be calculating the cost of equity. This thing we have discussed, and we have seen some of the methods, right? There are multiple methods to calculate cost of equity, and I think we have discussed around four methods in previous lecture, three or four methods, right? So today I will be starting with new method, that is the most important method to calculate cost of equity. So just give me a second, I will revise the concept which we have discussed in previous session, and then we will be discussing the new concept, right? So I have already taught you this concept that how to calculate cost of equity, right? And we have seen methods also. So if you want to calculate cost of equity, right? If you want to calculate cost of equity, so there are several methods, right? There are several methods to calculate cost of equity. So first method we have seen, that is dividend method, right? And we have seen the formula also. So formula is dividend divided by market price on net proceed. Right? Dividend divided by market price, or you can say net proceed of from share, right? Second method which we have discussed, that was profit method. That was profit method, right? So if you want to calculate cost of equity, so what you can do, you can use profit method, and the formula for profit method is PAT divided by market price, right? Third method which we have discussed, that is Gordon growth model, and we also say it as a GG model. That is Gordon growth model, and it is this model method is quite important method which is generally used by most of the company, right? So formula is D1 divided by market price plus growth, right? This is the formula. Now what is D1 here? D1 means D1 is equal to D0 plus growth. D0 plus growth. Now what is D0 here? D0 means dividend which has been already paid by the company, right? D1 is expected dividend, right? D1 means here expected dividend, that how much dividend company will be giving in future. Now, if you want to calculate expected dividend, so what you will be doing, you will be taking the past dividend which company has already paid, and you will be adding the growth into it. Right? You will be adding the growth into it, right? So let's suppose in last year company has paid dividend of 10 rupees, right? Now in future company is deciding that company will be giving growth of 10%, right? So in previous year company has paid dividend of 10 rupees. Now you want to decide that how much dividend company will be giving in next year, right? How much dividend company will be giving in next year, right? So simply what you will be doing, you will be adding 10%, because here we are assuming that company will be giving growth of 10%. So 10 plus 10% is going to be 11 rupees, right? So here we need D1, right? And this method is quite acceptable method, you can say, right? Many companies, they don't follow these methods, right? These methods, this given methods, they won't be giving you accurate result or proper result, right? Now next concept which is remaining is CAPM method, right? This is also very important method, that is CAPM method, right? CAPM method means capital asset pricing method, right? Or capital asset pricing model. Now what actually is capital asset pricing model, I will be telling you, but what I will be doing here, I will be writing down the formula. Formula is RF plus RM minus RF into beta. This is the formula here, right? Now, if I talk about this formula, so I would like to discuss few things with you before discussing more about this formula. So, if you see, let's suppose if I take example of two people, right? If I take example of two people, right? Now there is a person who is risk taker. Right? There is a person who is risk taker, or you can say he is khatron ka khiladi, right? He is risk taker, and this person is risk averse, right? Risk averse means the person who avoid the risk, right? So I have taken example of two people. One is risk taker and second is risk averse. Risk averse means person who avoid the risk, right? Now, if I talk about this person, he is having, both of them are having 1 lakh rupees. Now, you just think if a person is a risk taker, so where he will prefer to invest his money. So definitely you will say he will prefer to invest his money in crypto. Like obviously he will prefer to invest his money into crypto or into shares, right? Or maybe into mutual funds. right? If I take example of risk taker person, so he will be investing into crypto shares or mutual fund. But if I talk about person who is risk averse means person who avoid the risk, right? Person who avoid the risk, right? Where he will be investing his money, he will be basically investing his money in fixed deposit, right? Or he will be investing his money in government securities, right? He will be investing his money in government securities, right? So you can see the difference between risk taker and risk averse, right? Now, if you're investing into FD or government securities or government bonds, so you know how much return you will be getting. Usually, you will be getting 5 to 6% return, right? So I will be taking a 6% return, right? Here you will be getting 6% return if you're investing into FD, if you're depositing your money into FD, or if you are investing into government securities, right, you will be getting 6% return, right? This is going to be the return which you will be getting, right? Now, if I talk about this return, so I can give the name, or generally the name which is given to this return is risk-free return. Why it is known as risk-free return? Because here there is zero risk. Here there is zero risk because you are expecting less return. Or why there is a zero risk? Because what you are doing, you are making investment into government securities, or you are depositing bank money to the bank, right? So obviously you will be getting the 6% return, and there is a 0% risk in default, right? So this is your risk-free return. But if you are investing into shares, we are discussing about equities, so I will be taking the example of share. If you're investing into shares, so here there's a high risk. Why? Because share market is very volatile, right? Because share market is very volatile, right? Share market is very volatile, right? So if you're investing your money into share market, so you have to face volatility, right? There are high chances. Let's suppose you have purchased a share of Bella Corporation right now. The share price of Bella Corporation is 920, right? There are high chances that it can go down, right? Or there are less chances it will go up, right? So you will be doing the analysis, and you will be, after that, you will be investing into the shares. But these shares are very volatile, right? So what you will be expecting here, definitely you will expect return more than 6%. Why you will be expecting return more than 6%? Why you will be expecting return more than 6%? Because you are taking risk here, right? What kind of risk you are taking? You are taking market risk, right? So that is the reason what you will be doing. You will be expecting the more return, right? Now, if you see here, so what CAPM method says here, CAPM method, it talks about market risk. CAPM method generally it talks about market risk, right? So if you are investing into Bella Corporation Limited shares, so you want more than 6% return. That is for sure, right? You want more than 6% return. Why? Because you are taking risk. You will be facing the volatility into the share, right? Now, what this formula says here, formula says that you are expecting more than 6% return. So obviously, first, what is going to be your expectation? That bare minimum you want 6%, right? Bare minimum you want 6%, because here risk-free security is giving you 6%, right? So minimum you will be expecting here 6% return, right? Minimum you will be expecting here 6% return, right? Now, if you see what you will be doing, you want more return because you are taking market risk, right? Now, let's suppose if I talk about benchmark, right? Nifty or Sensex, they are benchmark, right? So let's suppose Nifty is giving return of 12%, right? Nifty is giving return of 12%. Usually what we do now, whenever we invest into share market, or whenever we do research or analysis on any particular share, now we take benchmark, right? I think when you were in school, if you're attending this lecture, and if you recall your old school days, so what your parents used to do, your parents used to compare you with Sharma Ji Ki Ladki, right? Who is Sharma Ji Ki Ladki? Sharma Ji Ki Ladki is a topper, right? So your parents, they used to say that, see, that Sharma Ji Ki Ladki, she has scored 95%, and you are scoring only 55% or 60%. So Sharma Ji Ki Ladki is a benchmark, and you are a individual security, right? So whole parents, if let's suppose the strength of your class is 50, and Sharma Ji Ki Beti, she is a topper, so she will be treated as a benchmark, right? And remaining 49 parents, what they will be doing, they will be comparing their children or child marks with Sharma Ji Ki Beti marks, right? So you are one stock, but Nifty includes 50 shares, right? Nifty includes 50 shares, and you will be getting the value of Nifty by taking average of those 50's company share, right? So if Nifty on an average is giving 12% return, so this is going to be return from market. Now benchmark is going to be market here, right? So this is going to be return from market. So market is giving return how much? That is 12%, right? So that is return from market. And already you have written risk-free return, right? So 6% you want and plus additional return you want. Why? Because you are taking risk, right? So this formula, this particular equation is also known as market premium. I highlighted this equation is also known as market premium. Why market premium or market risk premium? Because you're taking risk and you are expecting more return or more premium, right? So if you see here, so what you're doing, market is giving 12% return. So you are reducing risk-free return, right? So what do you want? The difference between 12% and 6% is 6%, right? So you want 6% additional return, right? Now you have to multiply this difference between 12% and 6% with beta. Now, what is beta, guys? I will be discussing in detail that what actually is beta in the coming session, but I will be giving you idea right now, right? So if I talk about beta, so beta calculate or measures the market risk, right? Beta calculate or measures the market risk, right? Now, we calculate beta for every security, right? In next lecture, I will be discussing about standard deviation and beta. So why do we calculate beta? Beta calculate or measures the risk of each share. So let's suppose if you're planning to invest into Reliance share, so what you will do, you will find out the beta of Reliance share, right? I will teach you that how to calculate beta. So you will be finding out the beta of Reliance share if you're planning to invest into Reliance share. If you are planning to invest into Zomato, so definitely what you will be doing, you will try to find out the beta of Zomato. Like if you are planning to invest your money into Tata, definitely you will find out the beta of Tata. Let's suppose beta of Reliance is 1.2, right? Let's suppose beta of Zomato is 0.8, right? Let's suppose beta of Tata is 1.5. Right. Now I will explain you that what is beta here, right? So the center point of beta is going to be 1. So beta is going, the center point of mean of beta is going to be 1, right? Here, if you see what is the beta of Zomato is 0.8, right? Here, if you see the beta of Zomato is how much? Here, the beta of Reliance is 1.2, right? Here, the beta of Tata is 1.5, right? Now, if you see here, if I talk about beta of Reliance is how much? 1.2, right? Now, if I minus 1 from 1.2, so what value we will be getting? This is the central point. And if I minus 1 from 1.2, so I'm getting here 0.2, right? And if I convert this 0.2 into percentage, so I will be getting here 20%, right? Now, this 20% talks about the volatility in share price, right? This 20% talks about the volatility in share price. I am saying that this 20% talks about the volatility in share price. Here, basically, how do we calculate beta? We calculate beta with the help of benchmark, right? If I take example here Nifty. So what I will be doing, I will be comparing my share with benchmark, right? So Nifty is a benchmark. So if I talk about Nifty, Nifty includes topmost 50 company data, right? It includes topmost 50 companies data. Company like Reliance, Tata, Birlas, they include topmost big companies. And I think you might have heard that Nifty fall by 1,000 points, Nifty fall by 500 points. Current number of Nifty is 16,000, right? So you might have heard this thing. Nifty is 16,000 today. So you might have heard these things, right? So what you're doing, you're trying to compare individual stock value with benchmark, right? So you're trying to compare your value with Nifty, right? So Nifty is a market because Nifty includes 50 share price. So if Nifty is falling, so most of the time you can say that market is falling. If Nifty is going up, you can say that market is going up, right? So Nifty is a market for you. We will be discussing about beta a lot, but right now I'm giving you idea. So here, if beta is 1.2, right? If beta is 1.2 here, right? So let's suppose if market is going up by 10%, right? If market is going up by 10%, so here you can see what is the beta. What is the beta here? Beta is 1.2. So your share price will go up by 20%. Your share price will go up by 20%, right? If market is going up by 10%, your share price will go up by 20%, right? So let's suppose current price of share is, if I take Nifty figure here, right? Nifty value is 16,000, I'm assuming it. And let's suppose Reliance share price is 2,000, right? Now let's suppose Nifty is going up by 10%. So 10% of 16,000 is going to be 1,600, right? So Nifty is going up by 1,600 points. Now your share value, by what amount it will go up? It will go up by 20%, it will go up by 20%, and you will see a upward movement in share price, that is 400. 2000 for 20%, that is 400, right? So new share price is going to be 2400, right? Now, if you see here, if Tata's beta is 1.5, right? So I will take the figure here. I will reduce 1 from 1.5. So that is going to be 0.50. And if I convert this into percentage, so it is going to be 50%, right? So if market is going up by 10%, right? If market is going up by 10%, so share price of Tata will go up by 50%, right? If market is going up by 10%, so share price of market will Tata will go up by 50%, right? So let's suppose the share price of Tata is 1000, right? And Nifty is going up by 10%, so it will go up by 1600 here. The share price of Tata will go up by 500 rupees, 50% of 1000, and here you will be getting the value that is 1500. Are you able to understand? Now, if you see here the this Zomato beta is 0.8. Now, what is 0.8 here, right? Generally, 0.8 means now there will be difference in movement, right? Now, we have seen if beta is more than 1, right? So there will be parallel movement, right? If market is going up, so security price will also go up, right? But in this case, the if you see beta is 0.8, right? So if I take 0.8 and if I do -1 here, so I will be getting here minus 0.20. I will be getting here minus 0.20, right? If I convert this into percentage, so I will be getting minus 20%, right? Now, in this case, if you see, if Nifty is going up by 10%, in case of Zomato, I'm talking about, if Nifty is going up by 10%, now there will be fall in share price of Zomato. So share price of Zomato will fall by 20% because it is lesser than 1. Are you able to understand? So whenever beta is lesser than 1, so your share price movement will be just opposite of market movement, right? So if you see here, if Nifty is going up by 10%, so here let's suppose the share price of Zomato is 200, right? So it will go down by 20%. So 20% of 200 is going to be how much? 40. That is minus 40, and new share price is going to be 160, right? So we will be learning about beta, right? How actually we can find out these numbers, right? So we will be learning this thing, right? Right now, I'm assuming, let's suppose the beta of the security in which you want to invest is 1.2, right? I am assuming that a beta of security in which you are planning to invest is 1.2, right? So what value you will be getting here? What value you will be getting here? Right? So you will be getting the value here, that is 6% plus 6% into 1.2, right? So that is going to be 6% plus 7.2%, and here cost of equity is going to be 13.2%, right? This is going to be the cost of equity here, right? So this is how you will be calculating the cost of equity. So if you are raising money by issuing equity shares, so equity shareholders, they will be expecting a return of 13.2%, right? You have to pay 13.2% return to equity shareholder. This is the last and most important method to calculate cost of equity, right? So quickly, what I will do, I will take few more cases here for a better understanding, right? Here I will take few more cases. So case number 2, right? Risk-free return is given 5%, right? Return from market, that is benchmark, is given, let's suppose 10%, right? Beta of security is given, let's suppose 0.8, right? Beta of security is given how much? 0.8, right? What do you have to do? Find out cost of equity using CAPM method, right? So what is the formula? So I will write down the solution here, just adjacent to the case. I will write down the solution. Okay, so if you see what is going to be the formula here, formula is going to be KE is equal to RF plus RM minus RF into beta, right? So if you see what is the risk-free return is 5% plus return from market is 10% minus risk-free return is 5% and beta is 0.8. Right? So here it is going to be 5%. Plus, if I solve this equation, so I will be getting a 4%. So cost of equity is going to be 9%. Okay. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining this session, for watching this session. So, in next session, I will be discussing about beta and standard deviation, right? I will be using the real number and I will make you understand that how you can calculate the beta and standard deviation. So we will meet in next lecture. So stay tuned with us.